Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this live planning forum, The Social Impact of Performing Arts by the Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts. I am Ricky Ng, your facilitator. Art and culture nurture our thoughts and shapes our way of living. Reading into different art forms, we perceive and conceive, reflect and construct our views. This is a journey that enables us to better understanding ourselves and the world. Art, as a form of expression, brings us joy and happiness, tears and sorrow, as well as social consciousness. Roles and competency of the 21st century artists expand. In addition to aesthetic pleasures and creativities, nowadays artists look into global issues and walk into communities to disseminate their messages. They also play an important role to influence life, as in Michael Jackson's song, "To heal the world, make it a better place, for you and for me and the entire human race." In today's forum, deans and faculties from Hong Kong APA's 6 schools will share us their visions and insight, and how the learning programs prepare students of this century to become 21st century artists with an innovative, multidisciplinary and globally focused education. Before we go to the school's keynote sections, let us welcome Professor Gillian Choi, Director of Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts, to give us a welcome speech. Professor Choi, please.
Welcome to the Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts, and thank you for joining us in this information webinar. Ranked first in Asia and 10th in the world in the performing arts category of the latest QS World University Rankings, the Academy is devoted to providing quality education and nurturing students with a caring heart. We believe in arts for all. Since 2019, the Academy has been working closely with Arts with the Disabled Association Hong Kong to identify art accessibility needs, engage relevant support in our productions, and provide art accessibility training for staff, students, and the public. All these further support the Academy as a disabled-friendly environment for our students and explore opportunities for promoting arts inclusion. With the renewal of the MOU with ADA-HK in January 2022, we will continue to actively promote arts inclusion to our students so that they will have early exposure to creative engagement with the disabled and can continue to advocate for arts inclusion in the future. In early to mid-January, we were grateful to arrange 4 in-person workshops just before the outbreak of the pandemic, 2 tailored for dance students, 1 for drama students, and 1 for the general audience, which was also held online. It was our pleasure to invite Professor Lena Lee, an art specialist of the ADA-HK, again to conduct the workshops and share her expertise in integrating AA creatively in performing arts. She has also invited 3 different guests with various talents, namely passionate ballerina Christine Lau with Down syndrome, internationally exposed stage actor Michael Ng with hearing impairment, and wheelchair dancer Philip Wong with physical disability, to share their special experience as artists and how art enriched their lives with our faculty and students. The above are only few examples of how we helped enhance awareness and widen our students' horizons through community participation. We endeavour to provide our students with the best education and opportunities in order for them to succeed, not just in pursuing an active performing arts career when they graduate, but a holistic education that prepares them for other career choices and challenges, and become future contributors to the cultural landscape of Hong Kong and the region. Without further ado, I would like to have our faculty members of the 6 schools give you more information and insights about how we make a positive impact on the society with performing arts. Stay well. Thank you.
Cantonese opera is listed as an intangible cultural heritage item by UNESCO in year 2009. The School of Chinese Opera in the Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts is the world's only academy that awards Bachelors of Fine Arts for Cantonese opera. The school takes up the mission not only to preserve, regenerate, innovate and educate students and mass public with the traditional art form, but also nurture students to become artistic ambassadors to promote Cantonese opera to local and overseas communities. The community engagement include a range of activities, such as the performance of young academic Cantonese opera troupe in the Tea House in Hong Kong's West County District, the cultural exchanges and visit in New York City and Oberlin Conservatory in the state in 2019, as well as our alumni engagement in Nepal to work with the local people to promote Cantonese opera. In the following section, Professor Martin Lau, Dean of the School of Chinese Opera, will show us the social impact of Cantonese opera beyond the stage performances. Professor Lau, please.
Hello, and thank you everyone for joining me today as I will present to you Nurturing Artistic Citizenship, Chinese Opera and its Social Impact. My name is Martin Lau. I'm the Dean of the School of Chinese Opera. So to begin our topic today, and talking about its social impact, the first thing I think we need to look at for Cantonese opera, and for the sake of this presentation, I will be using Cantonese opera and Chinese opera interchangeably. Cantonese opera, or Yutkek, as it is known in China, is an operatic art form that incorporates acting, singing, music, acrobatics, using the Cantonese vernacular. In recognition of its cultural and historical value, Cantonese opera was inscribed in 2009 onto the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organizations, which we call UNESCO, representative list of intangible cultural heritage items. So the School of Chinese Opera, and we're going to call ourselves SCO for short, is the first and only accredited program in the world that offers a Bachelor of Fine Arts honors degree in Chinese opera, a diploma in Cantonese opera foundations, and we will also be offering in the coming year a new professional diploma in Cantonese opera. So a quick overview of our programs. Again, we have a 4-year Bachelor of Fine Arts program pitched at QF Level 5. We will be having a professional diploma in Cantonese opera. We will be launching that in the academic year 23 and 24. That's a 2-year program pitched at QF Level 4. Then we also currently have a diploma in Cantonese opera foundations, a 1-year QF Level 4 program that targets local and non-local post-secondary students. Alongside of these tertiary programs, the School of Chinese Opera also has continued and extended learning programs, and is part of our Cantonese Opera Development Initiative. Cantonese Opera Youth Program is a program from 9 to 17 that we are offering weekly to students that may have an interest in extracurricular activities in Cantonese opera. The Cantonese Opera Continued and Extended Learning Program itself is for adult learners with background in Cantonese opera, or it could even be for beginners. And this is part of our SCO mission. The mission statement for the School of Chinese Opera is that we aspire to continue providing students a platform to learn a traditional art form while enhancing the curriculum through innovative, interdisciplinary, and global-focused education. And what we hope to achieve with our curriculum and our students is that they learn transferable life skills such as communication, business fundamentals. So the poster you see on your right there is actually a poster of a graduate project a few years ago. And it's part of what we teach, project-based business fundamentals. The students have to run the project themselves. They have to learn how to achieve funding. They also have to do their own budgeting, production, plan everything out themselves. So this is part of what we do here at the School of Chinese Opera. We also hope to promote artistic ambassadorship. As we said earlier, Cantonese opera is, of course, a UNESCO ICH item, and so the idea of promoting Cantonese opera abroad is very important, And really, at the end, we really want them to be critical artistic citizens, where they can use the art form that they learned here at the HKAPA and share it with everybody in the community, as well as build their own career. And when we look at Cantonese opera in particular, it has a very significant local social impact. As I spoke earlier, Cantonese opera is in the Cantonese vernacular. So with Cantonese as the primary mode of delivery, it's very ingrained and embedded in the region. Cantonese opera has existed since the 1600s, and it's reached its golden age during the 20s and the 50s. It has served as a key cultural leisure activity for traditional festivals and villages across the Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau regions. Recent studies in Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau have supported the conclusion that it's still very popular among older generation as a social leisure activity of choice. It's an opportunity really for people to group together, to have a sense of community. And part of what we do here at the School of Chinese Opera is that we engage our students for these local opportunities. Aside from working as professionals, working with alumni, some of the things that we do here at the School of Chinese Opera, this picture here you see is our students actually interning at RTHK Radio 5, and they learn how the radio station works. And through these presentations, and they were presenting back to our faculty and staff, they learn that there is a huge community in Hong Kong that still loves Cantonese opera, and that there is a great opportunity for younger generations to perpetuate this love and at the same time really share Cantonese opera with the community. We also have the West Kowloon Cultural District. We have internships there with the Tea House, the Young Academy Cantonese Opera Troupe, which is a subsidiary of the HKAPA, offers opportunities for our students and alumni to engage in the community as well as engage in schools and do short productions and educate the public on Cantonese opera. If we look at the global social impact of Cantonese opera, it's also a very unique thing. Chinese opera is a community engagement mechanism and cultural leisure activity for Chinese living abroad. SCO has offered opportunities in the past to engage pre-pandemic, of course, engage and learn more about the cultural significance of Chinese opera in these communities through international touring and cultural exchange. So I'm going to show you some pictures here of things that the school and the students and faculty have done in the past. So we visited Chinese opera enthusiasts in New York in 2019. We were very fortunate because we were able to go to New York to do this community and cultural engagement. And then when we came back, the pandemic hit. So since then, we haven't been able to fly anywhere. And I think this is something that we all hope will have an opportunity to do this again. But we visited these Chinese opera enthusiasts in a place called the China Music Club. And this club actually has about 100 years of history. It was first established when a bunch of Chinese immigrants immigrated to New York. And they used Cantonese opera as a way for them to group together in a community and to reminisce about their home. So this part of the social impact that the School of Chinese Opera is trying to teach and impart on the younger generation, because Cantonese opera is a part of our culture, is a part of their history. And so through these exchanges, we hope that our students can understand more about what they're trying to do and in that sense help them perform better on stage. Also on that trip, we swung around to Oberlin, and the Oberlin Conservatoire is the oldest Western music conservatoire in the United States. We went to Oberlin, into the town. Aside from doing a cultural exchange there and performing at the Oberlin Conservatory, we also visited the local elementary school. So we saw the kids there, and on the bottom we have a group picture of our team with all the kids, kindergarten to 6th grade. We also showed them the rudimentaries of spear waving, and they enjoyed it very much. And it's an opportunity to be an artistic ambassador where we can share a local Hong Kong art form and engage with the world. So after all of this talk about artistic citizenship, I want to give you a real example of an artistic citizen. So Ms. Karen on the left, that's facing the kids, she's an alumni and a graduate of the School of Chinese Opera. And this is one of her trips where she went to Nepal in 2019 to low-income families and the villages to share Cantonese opera with the world. And through these things, we can see that there is a huge impact arts and performing arts can do to encourage the kids to be happier, to build community, and really for Cantonese opera as a way for a Hong Kong local art form to be presented on a world stage. So to recap, SCO strives to provide opportunities for students to be engaged with the community. We recognize that the social impact of Chinese opera reaches well beyond stage performance, and we encourage our students to be global artistic citizens. Thank you very much for joining me today for our presentation, and have a great rest of the day.
喺樂記裏面，子貢問樂，章句裏邊提到以手肢、舞肢、足肢、蹈肢去表現語言未能表達嘅情感。舞蹈由肢體嘅創作活動表現到今日嘅舞蹈文科、教育及科學研究，處處展現咗對社會人民嘅關注。今日嘅舞者喺創作嘅路途上，肩負住改變同埋貢獻社會嘅任重道遠角色。佢哋嘅創作及研究反映社會嘅價值、信念、希望同埋抱負。喺以下嘅時段，香港演藝學院舞蹈學院院長陳仲英教授會同大家分享學院嘅教學理念同埋師生一齊參與以舞蹈專業知識關注及回饋社會嘅計劃。有請陳教授。
各位校長、老師，大家好。我時時被問到點樣輔導同埋指導一啲有興趣從事表演藝術工作嘅學生，可以點樣建議一個好嘅生涯規劃俾佢哋。如果你嘅學生或者仔女同你講，我想入大學讀跳舞，然後用跳舞作為我嘅終身職業，咁跳舞有啲咩就業嘅機遇同埋新發展呢？鍾意跳舞嘅同學，如果想用舞蹈作為升學或者就業嘅出路，一般嘅概念認知大多數都係喺佢哋嘅跳舞班或者舞蹈中心嗰度學到嘅。大家會唔會覺得呢一個行業係一個比較短同埋狹窄嘅事業呢？出路或者只係能夠選擇變為舞者、編舞或者做舞蹈老師。其實舞蹈對其他嘅領域甚至社會都可以有好大嘅貢獻同埋影響力嘅。香港演藝學院舞蹈學院用舞蹈作為一個專修嘅藝術學科。我哋除咗栽培從事表演同埋編舞專長嘅藝術家之外，我哋嘅課程亦都包含咗好多相關學科嘅知識，例如舞蹈文科、舞蹈教育、舞蹈創作同埋舞蹈科學嘅4大範疇，嚟到準備一班未來嘅年輕藝術工作者。例如從舞蹈科學嘅角度上，舞蹈幫助我哋鍛鍊肌肉、調理身體、改善血液循環、改善姿勢、平衡力、提高手眼協調能力同埋改善精細運動嘅技能， 促進咗更加大嘅靈活性。而靈活性嘅訓練，尤其對於一啲好活躍嘅小朋友，甚至年老嘅長者，都可以幫助佢哋減低受傷嘅機會。大腦係需要氧氣同埋水先能夠正常工作。舞蹈作為運動之一，當然可以提供咗兩個元素，其中一個最重要嘅就係氧氣啦。做運動嘅時候，大腦會產生一種叫做內啡納嘅神經化學物質，而呢一種物質會引起能量感，令到我哋嘅大腦可以長時期保持喺一個精神集中嘅力嘅層面嗰度，幫助我哋提高學習嘅能力。因為加強咗舞蹈科學嘅知識喺我哋嘅課程裏邊，我哋啲同學除咗從事頭先所講嘅職業之外，佢哋好多時都可以從事體適能嘅教練，例如瑜伽、Pilates、Feldenkrais 呢啲動作嘅指導，同埋呢一班嘅舞蹈嘅畢業生，佢哋具備咗舞蹈科學嘅知識，亦都更加令到佢哋做一個舞蹈教師有更高嘅水平。我哋亦都有好多畢業生選擇咗進修其他相關嘅研究同埋碩士課程，例如表演藝術心理學、舞蹈科學研究等等。隨住社會嘅進步同埋改變，呢一方面嘅專才需求亦都不斷咁增加。
Dance science to me is bringing the scientific, evidence-based knowledge into our daily traditional dance practice. So we hope to bring awareness from both sides and try to enhance our training method so the dancers can have a longer career and with less or minimum injuries.
The dance science program was fully integrated into our curriculum. The Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts, that we have a state-of-the-art dance science lab and a conditioning studio. So these facilities allow us to work with our students to enhance performance and to minimize injuries as much as we can, and to work with our dancers to be the best they can.
The community engagement program runs by the dance science team include webinars, workshops, and also seminars. The most recent activities that we have held is the Optimizing Dancer Potential series. We invited international speakers and also local experts to share their knowledge in nutrition, what is the best practice for dancers, also somatic and dance making, and motor learning and dance training, also foot and ankle injuries among our dancers here in the APA. We hope to bring the awareness to the local community, dance teachers, dancers, dance parents, so we can together build a healthier dance environment.
舉一個例子，最近舞蹈學院得到香港賽馬會慈善基金嘅支持，啟動咗一個3年嘅觸動舞蹈計劃。呢一個計劃係橫跨咗舞蹈分析、舞蹈欣賞、舞蹈教學、舞蹈科學同埋舞蹈創意嘅跨學科知識。呢一個計劃引進咗海外嘅成功例子，俾一班香港嘅舞蹈藝術家可以將舞蹈藝術、社會共融嘅概念帶入去俾一班患有柏金遜症嘅患者社群。而呢一個計劃用舞蹈作為媒介，同柏金遜症患者同埋佢哋嘅家人溝通嘅時候，並唔係淨係用舞蹈作為一種治療，而係通過舞蹈作為一種藝術嘅媒介，帶動佢哋嘅身心、社交、美感同埋情感嘅結合，幫助佢哋尋回自信同埋自尊。首先，我哋嘅學生要先明白舞蹈同埋其他藝術媒介，例如視覺藝術、音樂藝術嘅分析能力，理解藝術嘅內在價值，繼而通過舞蹈科學嘅知識，運用身體動作，再將呢啲知識配合柏金遜症病徵嘅理解，設計合適嘅舞蹈課程同埋工作坊。最後，通過佢哋對舞蹈創作嘅知識，帶領參與者共同創作，展示藝術嘅力量，再一次用藝術注入呢一個社群嘅生命裏面，俾佢哋再次被融入社會裏邊，得到接納、關懷同埋共處。舞蹈提高咗呢一班學生同埋藝術家對其他人嘅敏感性、理解力、欣賞力同埋同理心，發揮每一位喺社會嘅價值同埋力量。當今嘅科技發展已經融入咗喺我哋生活嘅每一個層次裏面， 我哋嘅課程除咗要採用科技嚟加強教學嘅靈活性同埋興趣之外，亦都引導學生用科技創作藝術。我哋會用3維運動捕捉系統、動畫、虛擬實境、舞蹈錄像拍攝技術同埋其他軟件系統，配合舞蹈創作，打破舞蹈表演嘅創作空間。今年畢業班嘅學生仲有機會同英國嘅一個編舞同埋多媒體藝術家一齊創作咗一個 digital dance 嘅表演添。最近亦都有2位畢業班嘅同學俾我哋安排參加咗一個 AI 人工智能同埋 VR 虛擬實境嘅舞蹈創作表演，而呢一個表演將會喺今年嘅 Affordable Arts Fair 嗰度展現。我哋嘅學生具備能力同其他科技領域合作，提供咗更加廣闊嘅職業可能性。未來用舞蹈作為終身職業嘅前景已經打破咗好多框框啦，製造咗好多唔同嘅就業機會俾我哋呢一班年輕嘅舞蹈畢業生。其實最緊要係呢一班年輕人是否能夠用佢哋被賦予嘅舞蹈天分，對舞蹈嘅興趣同埋熱誠，再加上學院俾佢哋嘅知識準備，自己建立一個更好嘅生涯計劃。多謝。
Everybody has the right to enjoy arts, and arts are for everyone. The storytelling and documentary natures of drama are experiential journey to discover oneself and the others. Drama enables our students to reach out to the communities and raise awareness to social issues. For instance, Drama School's Father and Son's documentary theatre revisits social construct, and through the process of production, students reflect on the relationship of father and son and foster better mutual understanding. And other community engagement projects reach out to the people with disabilities. Visual interpreters use narrative to aid visual impaired audiences in order to enable them to enjoy the play. In the coming section, Mr. Terence Chang from School of Drama will share his concept of delicacy and persistency and lead us through the amazing journey and episodes to see the social impacts of drama. Terence, please.
Good afternoon, principals, teachers, and honorable guests. I'm Terence. To me, delicacy and persistence are my 2 mottos in my life. I had worked at an NGO known as Teen Ace in the past, using games and art to teach Section 8 education in Hong Kong. Each year we held a drama festival. Youth from schools and youth centers would go through a series of workshops and then write their own scripts and rehearse their own plays. In the workshop, we always heard the young people saying, I have a story in my mind, but it is a story of my friend, not mine. We listened quietly and carefully in the sharing. We did not challenge the source. We hoped that they can share themselves more in the context of drama. In other words, we want to bridge up with young people, using drama to connect them more and understand them more. In the devising class of our BFA and MFA program, we also guide our students to reflect on their past life. We do not need the original stories, but we guide them to show us the feeling here and now in terms of movement and soundscapes. Through the process of building up a story, young students from BFA program, they can learn how to face a problem and foresee the consequences in the context of drama, and hope in their future they will have a second thought before any risky action. For MFA students who are teachers and social workers, they can learn their skill here and they can try it out in their own schools or social center settings. Just now I share about some imaginative story building. On the other hand, we have documentary theater that records and reflects about incidents happened in the past, the real past. I remember in rehearsing Fantasia on Father and Sons, actors has to interview their own fathers or other actors' fathers. In those interviews, the same incident recorded by the sons may be remembered differently by the fathers. And they never thought about the memory of fathers had got so strong pictures, expressions, and emotions. In the final product, the sons may take the role of fathers and speak the lines of the fathers in exact wordings recorded in the interview. You can imagine how they feel more about their fathers and their family as well. That kind of reversal of roles raised awareness about different perspectives on the same incidents in our same society. And it is the power of documentary theatre to collect opinions from different roles and people in our same society. In the coming academic year, we would have a 1-year production time to make a new documentary theatre with our BFA students and hope to reflect more about their lives and their society. Artists and sociologists did a lot of theatrical experiments on disability. I found site-specific performance authentic and theatrical. Doing site-specifically means putting up a performance, for example, at the temple or at a church to explore more in religion. How about letting audience go through the wheelchair pathway or crouch runway to experience the mountain climbing difficulties from an entrance of a building to a specific venue inside? Then, the audience can further listen to the monologue or dialogues of the disabled presenters. They will start to understand more. Our drama school students recently has successfully applied the Creative Project Fund from HKAPA to work on projects related to disability in this year. Actually, Art with Disabled Association, Hong Kong, and HKAPA has signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, to explore more possibility on arts with disability together. We had made an accessible performance at amphitheatre. This is the first time in Hong Kong that visual interpreters were trained to act and move on stage with a lot of the accessible features and artistic elements blended in together. Here we would like to share a video clip here and see the production, how it goes. The drama is talking about the growth and development of the disabled artists. Let's have a look.
地點展覽場，人物 Mandy， 展覽負責人 Paula。燈亮嘅時候 ，Mandy 坐喺左前方嘅台階環顧四周，展覽負責人 Paula 喺旁邊一路解說。燈亮 ，Paula 行近 Mandy。Mandy 起身。
不過其實佢真係有一個特別嘅性格㗎。嗱，3位藝術家咧已經睇過晒呢個場㗎啦，覺得呢度咧有一種藝術嘅氛圍一樣啦。嗱，有原始嘅本質啦，又有優雅高貴嘅感覺。唔夠高。我話佢樓底唔夠高。
企咗上台階。
其實今次嘅展覽入邊咧，應該冇咩大型嘅 installation。
揀出白鴿。
白鴿？
你哋話要揀實同埋做象徵啊嘛。
係啊。
飛得起。嗱，我覺得呢個主題咧啱晒你哋。但係用佢嚟做題材，我哋諗起白鴿啊，真係和平。和平真係咁用啦。仲有啲人好中意放白鴿祈福嘅，咁你咪會諗起籠中鳥重獲自由。
喺演區。
其實一定係咁去㗎啦，你信我啊！呢個 idea 啱晒你展覽藝術家。嗱，到時我喺我嘅作品同佢哋嘅作品之間，我擺啲白鴿嘅剪影、羽毛，咁佢成個感覺就好似象徵住，連佢哋都可以終有一日衝出國際藝壇，振翅高飛。
哇！不過咧，其實我哋嘅展覽藝術家咧，已經經常參加啲國際性嘅演出啊、展覽
跳上台階，
喂，呢睇嘢消失。
個場係有少少先天性嘅不足嘅。
同我之前威尼斯做嘅場真係爭好遠啊！即係呢度好矮，個感覺好局促，好壓迫。喂，我點睇都飛唔起㗎。
哦，咁其實係我哋搞展覽嘅嘢，最緊要係個意念同埋質素啊嘛。個場咧唔係最緊要嘅。
個場係非常之重要嘅，即係我咧仲未試過咁細咁矮嘅地方做 exhibition 啦。嗱，我想講其實個場咁樣好有影響嘅。
落翻台階，
我哋做藝術㗎，我哋係追求完美，我哋冇得將就㗎。喂，我會唔會話而家個場唔 OK？咁所以我要做一啲次貨出嚟，然之後當佢 OK 啊？
唔係啊，我哋唔係呢個意思㗎。
咁咪係咯，開頭最當初，我哋點解要揀呢個場咧？
點解要揀呢個場咧？係咯，點解要揀呢個場咧？
推開傳譯員，傳譯員推佢近 Mandy， 全景。
唔夠經驗。
咁講到經驗嘅嘢，我哋就梗係要向你學習一下㗎嘛。
得，我喺隻窗出邊整對翼啊！
近鏡。
行唔行得通咧？
咁不如咁啦，我先同你講講三位藝術家嘅初步構思先啦，睇下同你嘅意念配唔配合到啊。
Art can be performed or appreciated by different people in our society. And we found that art can let me revisit our reality, reflect from our reality, and, the last but not the least, to create our reality for tomorrow. Arts are for everyone. Thank you very much.
There is a saying that film is larger than life. Some films are fictions, some are documentary, and some are based on true stories. It is no doubt that films are the most preferred entertainment for most of the people, but do you know what are the essential competences of filmmakers behind the silver screens? Indeed, filmmaking requires 21st century skill, which include critical thinking, creativity, collaborations, communication, information, media and technology literacy, flexibilities, leadership, initiative, productivities, and last but not least, social skill. The School of Film and Television facilitates students to acquire those soft skills during their study and projects in order to prepare them as responsible filmmakers with social confidence and well-awareness of the global and social issues. In the meantime, Ms. Elissa Rosati and Mr. Alex Lai from the School of Film and Television will show us the role of soft skill and social awareness to enrich our students. Art can be an expression of self and help shape one another's characters. Elissa, please.
Hello and welcome to the Life Planning Forum. My name is Elissa Rosati and I'm head of Screen Production and Research Center at the School of Film and Television. I'm here to speak with you about the social impact of film production and media studies. Well, media permeates all the parts of our working day. In fact, before you came here, you probably immersed yourself in media. When you leave, you're going to immerse yourself in media. And right now, this is media. So, understanding how media is constructed is essential for an individual in today's society. And moreover, understanding how to construct media is a powerful tool, no matter what walk of life that you will enter. So, what does that mean for someone who wants to study filmmaking? Well, we know that filmmaking and the study of filmmaking will have enormous benefits on people's confidence and their self-esteem. Why do we know this? Well, because the process of making a film will help students to develop many soft skills. These are soft skills that we can transfer to other areas of life. And these are soft skills that will increase social confidence, and social confidence will lead to a much higher self-esteem in the individual. Self-esteem, why? Well, self-esteem is regarded as vital to children's social and cognitive development and emotional well-being. So we often think of self-esteem as something that gives a sense of, I feel good about myself to the individual, but self-esteem is more important than that. Confidence building is more important than that. It also affects the cognitive development of the individual. So how is this happening through the study and production of film? Well, the confidence building soft skills that you will be exposed to when you do a filmmaking program are cooperation. You have to cooperate with team members to produce a film. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to listen to your teammates and understand what it is that they want to accomplish. It's not just you in the team. You have to be resilient when you're making media production, when you're making a film. Resilience speaks to if something goes wrong, you're able to overcome it and continue on. This happens all the time in film production. In fact, it's par for the course. You have to be tenacious. You have to start and dog with a bone. You have to clamp down and you have to bring that project all the way through to the end. You have to learn troubleshooting and have troubleshooting be part of your toolkit at all times. People who make films take controlled risks. This is a very important skill that we need, a soft skill in life. When I mean controlled risk, what I mean is you start out not knowing if something's going to succeed, and you try it anyway. So controlled risk taking is part of the filmmaking process. Also, filmmaking requires extended periods of concentration. So you need to concentrate on set to get a take, but you also need to concentrate for the whole gamut of the production, from pre-production through to post-production. And the completion of the task at the end, getting all these balls in the air, finishing a film, and watching it screened, this is a very huge confidence booster in the individual. When you can complete a complex task, it gives you an enormous sense of self-worth. So I just spoke very briefly about the process of filmmaking and media studies and why that's important. But the artifact, what you make itself, is important, because the artifact, the art itself, can be an expression of self. And in filmmaking, it's not just an artist with a canvas. It's one person, part of a group, and that whole team coming together to make a film. So it's not only self-expression, but it's the individual reacting with the group that begins to understand what they are as that group, and that artifact, that piece of work, is an expression of that group. So in this way, we know that filmmaking has a social impact. The study of filmmaking has social impact. So at the Hong Kong Academy of Performing Arts, at the School of Film and Television, we have several programs. My colleague Alex Lai will introduce the Bachelor of Fine Arts to you in a moment. I'll just remind you that there's also postgraduate degree, the Masters of Fine Arts. And we're about to offer a slate of undergraduate, if that's the term, program for secondary schools called the Spark After School Program. So if you're interested in any of those programs, maybe students like you have in your schools might want to join. We will be offering visual storytelling, screenwriting, and post-production courses specifically for secondary school students. The final classes of those courses will be held in our production studio, our television studio, which is a state-of-the-art television studio, and the students will all learn how to run a TV studio at the end. I think these kinds of experiences in filmmaking are hugely beneficial to the youth of our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Elissa. When we talk about film and media arts, I think nobody will question about its very great impact on us. Because it's not just an art form, it's a mass communication, it's entertainment, it's an industry. And almost in our everyday life, we get into very close contact with it. For example, when we are watching TV, or when we are web surfing, or when we are using a mobile phone on the social media. So it's has tremendous impact. In our program, the students are being taught with different kinds of techniques, ranging from very advanced technology like VR 360, green screen filming, and motion capture and CG animation. And from year 2 and onwards, they also learn different kind of production. For example, in year 2, they learn documentary production. And then in years 3 and 4, they will learn soft fiction production. In documentary production, for example, in these two projects, one is about a mother who has breast cancer, but she still have to work very hard to earn a living and also to raise her kids. And then the other one is about a basketball coach who has become jobless because of the COVID-19. He has to stay at home at first because the schools are all closed. He has no job to do, and then he go to the restaurant to become a waiter. It's have very strong impact on his life. I think through this documentary production, our students learn about how they use daily life of the other people or their own experience to make a short film production. And it's, they start from doing research and interview and also observation, and then to make it into an interesting story that's appealing to as many audience as possible. When they come to year 3 and 4, they start to have their short fiction project, and graduation project is their final goal. They use their imagination, and also they use their daily life experience that learned from year 2 to make their own story. For example, these two short films that are showing in this PowerPoint, one is about a little boy with his housemaid who is very close to him, and she's going to leave the home, and then the boy is very, feel very missing her. And the other one is about 3 young men who has very confused future. Besides a real life story, the students also use many of the imagination to do a more experimental kind of short film like this one. Though it's not a real story, not real character, but the human emotion is real. I think it's very important when we are doing filmmaking or media production. We are really doing something related to human. So after they learn about various kind of skills, they can be, connect with the audience in a more effective way and show their idea and vision to the world in a more effective and more appealing way to the audience, and then more audience can be, drawn to their work. So I think it's very important and very good for the young people to learn about film and TV and media production. Thank you.
孟子見梁惠王提出咗獨樂樂不如眾樂樂。香港演藝學院音樂學院助理院長麥偉柱教授提出咗同樂樂嘅概念，兼容並包跨類別嘅中外音樂共奏，積極推廣及參與本地與海外團體嘅音樂合作。音樂學院亦推崇跨文化嘅協作，並以余其偉教授嘅雙肩挑嘅理念去秉承傳統，保育、延續同埋開拓音樂。音樂學院咧，亦都致力於培育多能專才，其中與康智學校嘅合作計劃，演藝師生用佢哋嘅音樂知識同唔同嘅社群同樂同作，並藉此促進作曲家、演奏家及聽眾三者嘅關係。接住落嚟，我哋有請麥教授嘅精彩分享。
各位你哋好，今日我講嘅係與人共樂。 嗱，呢一個樂字中文有兩個意思，一個係音樂嘅樂，另一個當然係快樂嘅樂啦。所以呢一個題目嘅中文讀法可以讀成與人共樂，亦都可以讀成與人共樂。喺香港彈鋼琴嘅人好多，彈過貝多芬奏鳴曲嘅人亦都唔少。由1795年至到距今啱啱200年嘅1822年，貝多芬就完成咗32首鋼琴奏鳴曲。我哋甚少機會可以聽到全套32首奏鳴曲一系列嘅演奏出嚟。據我記得咧，多年前有幾位來自海外嘅演奏家曾經喺演藝學院音樂廳連續幾日嘅音樂會入邊就演奏咗全套32首奏鳴曲。呢一個的確係難忘嘅經歷。嗱，我哋嘅鋼琴系主任郭嘉特教授舊年暑假咧就做咗個創舉，就係同香港電台合作，聯絡咗32位演藝學院嘅同學、校友或者老師，全部都係優秀嘅演奏家，每人演繹一首奏鳴曲，參與錄影、錄音嘅製作，現身說法，即場演奏，分享心得。透過電視同埋電台嘅轉播，觀眾可以欣賞到32位演奏家喺演藝學院音樂廳嘅精彩演出，亦都係香港嘅首次。但製作期間咧，又已經喺海外生活嘅校友專程搭飛機返香港。當其時因為疫情關係，返嚟香港都要隔離21日。即使呢次演奏係冇任何嘅金錢回報，佢哋都在所不辭，因為務求都要參與呢一個咁特別、咁有意思嘅音樂計劃。相信大家都係秉持着一份信念，就係32位演奏家一齊參與，彼此分享演繹貝多芬奏鳴曲嘅喜悅，一齊欣賞精彩嘅演奏，樂在其中，亦都樂在其中。我讀書嘅時候喺香港，歌劇似乎唔係普遍市民可以欣賞得到嘅音樂演出，冇咩機會可以聽到當中嘅歌曲嘅尾聲唱法，即係我哋叫做 bel canto 啦。我哋音樂學院亦都定期有歌劇選段嘅演出，每年亦都會同本校嘅其他學院合作，製作全舞台嘅大型歌劇。往年亦都有同海外藝術家團體交流合作，例如邀請各地包括歌劇發源地意大利嘅音樂家嚟到指揮我哋嘅學校管弦樂團。喺舊年同埋今年，更加由我哋聲樂系主任阮妙芬教授親自執導，徐慧欣老師指揮。舊年就有莫扎特嘅伊多美利奧，今年更同場演出兩場音樂寫實主義嘅巔峰之作組合《鄉村騎士》同埋《丑角》。音樂學院同學嘅合力唱奏做，舞台及製作藝術學院師生負責嘅台聲光嘅設計效果，再配合舞蹈同埋話劇等其他藝術媒體嘅同學一併演出。大家都好熱衷參與其中，珍惜呢一個每年一度嘅與人共樂嘅機會。過去多年，阮教授亦都率領聲樂系嘅師生到訪唔同嘅學校，作名為歌劇速遞嘅推廣演出。喺中學嘅禮堂上又唱又做，演出前後亦都同學校嘅老師同學生講解同埋示範，舉辦工作坊，進一步將呢一種起源於歐洲嘅歌劇藝術帶進校園同埋社區，同時提升市民欣賞歌劇嘅能力。香港係中西文化交匯嘅地方，除咗可以接觸到好似歌劇同埋貝多芬奏鳴曲呢啲精緻嘅西方音樂藝術之外，仲可以欣賞到有深遠傳統文化嘅中國音樂。更令人興奮嘅係藝術家融合咗古今音樂嘅文化精神，結合中外藝術嘅精髓，去發展一啲有本土特色嘅音樂曲種。雙肩挑就係中樂系主任粵樂大師余其偉教授一向提倡嘅理念，亦都可以講成係喺香港發展廣東音樂嘅方針。簡單嚟講，雙肩挑就係一邊肩膊負起咗秉承傳統中國音樂嘅精神精髓，並予以保護同推廣；而另一邊肩膊就負起咗延續中國音樂嘅發展，與時並進，開拓有本土特色嘅新樂種同埋新曲風嘅一種責任。今日雖然中樂團呢一種現代大型合奏已經成為咗重要嘅表演形式，我哋音樂學院每年亦都同香港中樂團合辦嘅國際性音樂活動嘅。但係社會上仍然都有唔同嘅強烈聲音，就係要保存民間傳統音樂。 香港演藝學院一直都提倡現代演奏家應該同時具備演奏現代大型合奏同埋傳統民間小合奏嘅能力。五月天一個舊年12月演藝學院音樂廳舉辦嘅廣東音樂演奏會，5位演藝中學系同學自行籌資，又獲得學校同埋社會賢達抗疫基金嘅資助，促成廣東音樂研究室同埋成立佢哋叫5人樂嘅演奏組合。喺呢個音樂會入邊，5位同學以現代方法演繹舊曲，亦都演奏近代粵樂新曲，以探索粵樂演奏理念為目標，展現粵樂嘅各種可能性。演奏上以傳統方法為主線，遊入咗中國戲曲，尤其是係粵劇、粵曲、廣東曲藝、腔調嘅音樂技藝、外省民工乃至當代流行曲同埋爵士樂嘅手法等等。嗱，演藝同學就係擔綱秉承余老師嘅雙肩挑理念，帶嚟一個糅合傳統同當代嘅粵樂演奏會。嗱，每年演藝作曲系咧都有超過20場嘅新作品音樂會，每場都有大概6至8首嘅新作，包括中西樂器同埋中西樂器混合嘅作品、中西管弦樂作品、聲樂作品，結合現代科技嘅電子音樂作品同埋多媒體作品等等。喺準備每年咁多首新作當中咧，作曲同學除咗將創作意念靈感譜成樂曲之外，之後仲要主動聯絡演奏者，討論同埋研究樂曲嘅細節，優化作品嘅音樂性，解決演奏上嘅技術問題，進行排練指揮，力求作品能夠成功演出。喺演藝學作曲咧，並唔係單單將樂師靈感寫上樂譜嘅紙上文章，而係力求作品喺音樂會能夠成功發表嘅一個與人共樂嘅過程。以每年嘅管弦樂作品工作坊為例，參與嘅作曲同學就要喺工作坊舉行嘅2個月之前，將完成嘅管弦樂作品嘅總譜交俾指揮，之後解說、討論、尋求專業意見，解決作品上面難於演奏嘅問題。之後仲要準備分譜，同學校樂隊嘅個別樂手嘗試樂曲嘅特別困難嘅片段，又同負責錄音嘅老師商討多軌式錄音嘅準備。嗱，今年一位同學寫嘅係鋼琴同埋樂隊嘅作品，除咗創作，喺演奏錄音期間咧，佢自己更加落場彈奏鋼琴獨奏嘅部分嘅。嗱，長達3個小時嘅工作坊咧，全體作曲同學都係參與其中，部分要協助多軌式錄音嘅之前準備同埋後期製作。成個工作坊咧，觀眾可以睇住樂譜，留意指揮同埋樂隊整個排練過程，同埋欣賞作品嘅創意。嗱，我哋嘅作品入邊有多媒體製作，同學可以同其他媒體藝術家合作，一齊共樂。唔同嘅題材，更加令到同學有機會接觸到唔同範疇嘅專業朋友，甚至透過呢一種表達藝術嘅方式，去令觀眾去關注一啲社會現象，使到多媒體藝術作品咧更加多元化，喺藝術表達嘅空間咧更加有可能性嘅。開墾 Reclaim 就係一套往年由2位作曲同學合作嘅多媒體創作，透過樂器演奏、聲音裝置、影像設計，同香港大學建築系朋友塑造嘅多個實體模型，同觀眾一齊參與，喺演藝學院大堂地下同埋1樓走廊呢啲開放空間咧進行嘅一個特別演出，表達咗我哋人對時間嘅變幻、空間嘅改變，同一啲自己熟悉但係又已經重建，因為重建或者填海而消失咗嘅地方嘅一種回想、思考同埋感受。觀眾除咗可以欣賞到來自演藝地下大堂同埋1樓走廊多方位嘅樂器演奏之外咧，仲可以置身於唔同形狀嘅裝置模型當中，去體驗同埋感受不一樣嘅聲影效果。而模型入邊嘅感應器咧，甚至可以令到觀眾所發出嘅聲音同埋身體嘅移動咧，變成咗作品表演嘅一部分。另一個叫做畫音動，係由演藝學院作曲系講師李嘉怡老師發起同埋全力組織安排嘅演藝作曲系青少年創意音樂合作計劃。計劃入邊，我哋同賽馬會康智學校合作， 由佢哋嘅學生創作唔同主題嘅圖畫，然後由演藝作曲同學去將圖畫串連成為繪本故事，加入效果製作成創意影片，以電子科技結合傳統技巧創作音樂同現場效果聲響。喺音樂會入邊咧，以現場講故事嘅形式播放音樂影片，同埋加入即時互動聲效對應演繹嘅。嗱，以上所講嘅一切都令到我哋學音樂嘅人得到一啲啟發，就係無論係鋼琴獨奏、歌劇匯演、中樂演出，或者係新作品發表，音樂演出咧已經唔係局限於作曲者獨自創作，表演者台上演奏，觀眾台下欣賞呢一種唯一嘅關係，而係我哋可以開拓更多表演藝術嘅可能性，令到我哋更加能夠與人共樂，亦都與人共樂嘅。多謝大家。
With an aim to build an inclusive society by providing equal opportunities to the audience in enjoying live performances, School of Theatre and Entertainment Arts employed the latest technology to help people with its ability to enjoy live shows. Aware of how hearing impaired people are lack of accessibility to live music, School of Theatre and Entertainment Arts recently organized a concert, inviting over hundreds of hearing impaired audiences to participate so as to expand the diversified interests, allowing them to naturally enter the world of music, to interact with the crowd, and to have a happy and confident music journey. Let's hear from the acting deans of School of Theatre and Entertainment Arts, Mr. Wah Yun, to know more about how technology accelerates performing arts into the next level. Mr. Yun, please.
The project INT is a unique collaboration between School of TEA and the local band Graphica. Technical design is not just about creating the wow factor in a show. It can be creatively used as a tool to embrace the audience, including the impaired ones. It is amazing to see the audiences enjoy the show with very different dimensions: seeing, listening, tactile, smell, and of course the choreographed sign language staged with the band. Accessibility design is no longer assistive, but artistically immersive in the whole performance. Hi, I'm Wah, Acting Dean of the School of Theatre and Entertainment Arts. Technology is driving the performing arts development across a wide spectrum. Artists of different art forms have acquired many latest technologies to innovate their creative process. Technology is no longer a set of tools. It has brought us many new means of storytelling. The School of Theatre and Entertainment Arts provides a professional training for artists to learn and experience the contemporary production in the performing arts. We have 3 departments in the school, covering different areas or specializations in the world of technical arts. They work together and form an educational platform for young artists to excel, with new skills, new aesthetics, and most importantly, new ways of thinking. Technologies is also about dissolving the boundaries of disciplines. It enhances collaborations. It should embrace the creative ideas. Our school holds this core value very strongly. We have a new specialization called media scenography, for instance, which is part of our new curriculum to advocate the integration of scenographic design skills with latest tools and digital technologies across various disciplines driven by a new mindset. Crossing the disciplines will be the key to all artists in the future, from painting a massive scenic backdrop to animatronics driven by robotic arm programming, from creating a light painting to a musical soundscape, from designing a costume of intricate embellishment to generative motion graphics projected on a theater scenery. With a whole array of new technologies, they will all fuse together and become an arsenal of artistic generation. Every young artist is going to build their own palettes, their creative toolkit. This is not the first time technologists can initiate artistic creation. There was a long history of craftsmen turning into a master of art. You know, one classic legend of multidisciplinary artists is Wagner. He understood the workings of acoustics. He designed his own theater architecture. He wrote his epic opera, and he staged them in a proscenium stage specifically built with highly sophisticated stage machinery in his time in order to fulfill his artistic endeavor. Today, new technologies have unfolded further. It is much more accessible. It takes you to a higher level of achievement much quicker. It gives you even more power to express. Digital revolution has brought us amazing tools like 3D scanning, 3D printing, which are now ubiquitous tools in our lives. Visualization, or sometimes called pre-visualization, is now an indispensable visual design tool. They help us in conceptualizing designs, develop our models to actually fabricating our stage pieces. Further on, we're getting into virtual production and extended reality, meaning you can design your own art and performance with audience interaction in the same platform. We have seen cutting-edge entertainment by Ariana Grande, Travis Scott, created in the gaming environment Fortnite, for example. The Wagner in the modern days could be the young artist in his bedroom. Everybody is talking about the metaverse, although we are not anywhere close to producing or attending a theatrical play entirely in the virtual world today. But you know, it will come tomorrow. For theater artists and technologists in the future, crossing the disciplines not only means areas within the world of technical arts. You may also leap over to science, psychology, social science, and as far-reaching as game theory, social media marketing, and many more. In order to do this, an artist-technologist needs to hone these skills within your own discipline and then across to others. You need to look at the creation holistically. The school's mission is to build a conducive environment where technologists and artists meet. And this is the platform they can go beyond their comfort zone. We have developed new laboratories to support the curriculum development. There is the new $60 million VR, AR, MR lab. We have recently expanded the props making workshop. renovated the costume workshop, computer lab, and spatial audio lab. We also have our own integrated media studio where we can deliver multimedia performances. The scenic paint shop and carpentry of international standard, directly accessible from all 3 major theatres in the Academy, are our major facility to contribute to the professional production standards, supporting our collaboration with School of Drama, Dance, Music, and Cantonese opera in live productions. Crossing the disciplines, whether you're in a classical theatre or in any futuristic domain. Thank you.
Thank you to all the speakers.